Imagine for a moment that you discover a forgotten letter containing secrets that shake everything we think we know about Jesus Christ. And no, this isn't just any document. It's a detailed testimony written by a Roman observer of the time, Aurelius Lentulus, who witnessed the events surrounding Jesus' life. This account, addressed to Emperor Tiberius, offers a fascinating and rarely seen insight into how Jesus was perceived at the time. A radically different view from what we know through traditional artistic representations. This document challenges us to question the preconceived notions that have settled over the centuries. For instance, is the image of Jesus often associated with European traits? Blonde hair and light eyes, like in the famous 1940 painting by Solman? Really historically accurate? This portrayal, which deeply influenced Christian art worldwide, has shaped the image of Jesus in the minds of past and current generations. But what's the real truth? Jesus, according to Aurelius Lentulus. According to Lentulus's letter, Jesus was not the man with Western features commonly found in churches or museums. Lentulus describes Jesus as having the typical appearance of a first-century Galilean Jew, with olive-toned skin, brown eyes, and dark hair. Far removed from modern European ideals, this description brings us closer to a more authentic vision of the time, in line with Jesus' geographical and cultural roots. But that's not all. Lentulus goes further in his description, detailing not only Jesus' physical appearance, but also his behavior. This portrait shows a man of profound wisdom, someone who radiated an aura of gentleness, humility, and serenity. His hair, according to Lentulus, was long and dark, his eyebrows well-defined, and his eyes an intense blue that seemed to penetrate the soul. This Jesus was not just a man of attractive features. He embodied an aura that commanded respect. The inconsistencies of biblical sources. Studying Jesus' appearance through the Bible itself is far from unified. On one hand, in the book of Isaiah, it is stated that the Messiah had neither beauty nor majesty, and that he did not have any particular physical appeal. On the other hand, in the Psalms, he is described as more beautiful than the sons of men. These contradictions reflect a certain confusion in how biblical writers approach the question of Jesus' physical appearance. The story of Jesus in the scriptures, much like the accounts of Old Testament kings, reveals that physical appearance could play a symbolic role. Kings Saul and David, for example, are described as handsome and imposing. But for Jesus, this issue seems to have been less of a priority than we might think. The traditional painting of Jesus, between art and cultural influence. Western artists, influenced by their own cultural contexts, have greatly shaped the image of Jesus in their own way. Take, for example, the 1940 painting by Solman, Head of Christ, which profoundly shaped the collective imagination. It portrays Jesus with European features, light eyes, and blonde hair. This image, widely disseminated through prints and paintings, established a visual standard that has been repeated over the centuries. But is this image, although popular, more a reflection of the time in which it was produced than of the historical reality of Jesus? Modern historians and researchers are challenging this Western model, offering a vision more in tune with the geographical and ethnographic realities of Jesus' time. Lentulus's letter, a living testimony. Aurelius Lentulus's letter stands out for the richness of its details. In addition to the physical description of Jesus, he talks about his behavior and character. According to Lentulus, Jesus had a noble and dignified bearing, a posture full of serenity that sharply contrasted with the image of someone angry or vain. Lentulus emphasizes that Jesus never showed anger or arrogance. This portrait invites us to rethink how we perceive historical figures, especially those who have become religious icons, and how these perceptions evolve through the ages. Lentulus's testimony, while its authenticity is sometimes questioned, provides a unique perspective. A Roman official who, far from the religious sphere, observed and recorded the phenomena he saw around him. This external, almost scientific viewpoint offers a more human and complex image of Jesus, one of a deeply human man, respected not only for his teachings, but also for how he interacted with the world around him. A more modern portrait of Jesus today, research on the Shroud of Turin adds another layer of understanding of Jesus' appearance. This famous shroud, which tradition says wrapped Jesus' body after the crucifixion, has been meticulously studied by scientists. Professor Giovanni Giudica Cordelia, a forensic expert, observed the traces left on the shroud and stated that the man it covered was approximately 1.80 meters tall and possessed an imposing but elegant stature. This image aligns with the description of Jesus as a tall, well-proportioned man, not the frail figure often depicted in some artistic portrayals. Modern studies of the shroud, combined with ancient texts, thus offer a new perspective on Jesus' appearance, but also on his intelligence. The cranial capacity of Jesus, measured from the shroud's impressions, suggests that he was likely an exceptionally bright person, capable of understanding and influencing those around him with unparalleled wisdom. An evolving perception. History, art, and faith have intertwined for centuries to shape the image we have of Jesus. While traditional representations have long dominated modern research, both historical and scientific, opens the door to a more nuanced and diverse vision. Different cultures, beliefs, and eras have each contributed to this complex mosaic that now forms the image of Jesus. But beyond his physical appearance, what remains central in the story of Jesus is his message, his actions, and how he has touched millions of lives throughout the ages. This exploration of his image reminds us that truth, whether historical or spiritual, can be seen from multiple angles. Jesus remains a mystery, a figure of great depth, and each era, each culture, has its own way of understanding and representing him.